Oh, are we live? What happened to the beginnings video? Okay. Oh, we live? Oh boy. Okay. All right. Well, hi everyone. Welcome to the Shaded Pixels podcast, where we break down video games through the shades and pixels, topic by topic. I am one of your hosts, Esteban Cuevas, aka Colin, and I am joined here by the streaming pilot of the show, Mr. BJ Brown, aka Bunny 3000.
That's right. All your technical difficulties belong to me.
That's pretty good. What game is that from?
Command and Conquer.
Do me a favor, unmute Shawn.
No! Why would I do that?
Because he needs to be here to talk.
Huh? Hey, Shawn, what was that? I can't hear the I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh boy.
Yes. I like being in control. Hey, Shawn, what's up, man?
I am also joined here by the Heartbreak Kid, who's currently heartbroken himself, Shawn Richards, aka Little Big Ham.
The Heartbreak Kid is not amused by your antics.
Yes. Does that mean we get a cage match?
The Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Richards, against
Yeah, that.
It'd be the match of the century.
Yeah, man. It already is.
Speaking of cage match, because we're talking about Injustice 2.
Yeah.
And Mortal Kombat 11 is coming out, which has Johnny Cage.
Mm-hmm.
Cage match.
Yes.
I love it. It's good.
Care about this. I'll see myself out now. You can mute me again, BJ. I'm done.
You're done? Okay.
He's done. He's done. Just remute him. It's fine.
Awesome.
Not to usurp you, BJ, but just to let everyone know, my friend is probably going to give me a new CPU and motherboard soon, so my computer is going to be fixed, which means that hopefully I'll be able to take back control of the podcast.
Yes, and things get back to normal.
But in the meantime, we will most certainly make do. And in this episode, we'll make by talking about Injustice 2.
Injustice 2!
That's 3. That's not out
yet. -1.
9. 2 minus 1.
Yes.
Ooh, is that the deluxe edition or whatever?
Steelbook edition.
The Rubber Dubs edition.
Nice. I just have the standard, but it looks good.
Yeah.
Justice League edition.
So this is going to be sort of like a mini series within our podcast where we talk about one solitary game and talk about, the good things about it, the bad things about it, the mechanics, how we just like it overall. It's kind of just more of a discussion of the game rather than like a full-blown review. But this seemed like a good time to do something like this because Mortal Kombat 11 is going to be coming out, and that means that Injustice 2 is not going to be getting the support that it normally does. Some people say, and I would say this because that's technically what the fighting community calls it, would say that the game is dead.
What?
What that really means is just that it's not going to be supported by the actual developers anymore. So you're not going to be seeing NetherRealm Studios, the developers, put out updates or release new DLC or hold tournaments for the game or anything like that.
What he's basically saying is that he wants this game to die. So he hates it, and he hates you for liking it.
Well, I mean, I do want Mortal Kombat 11.
Yeah.
If only one shall live, then let Scorpion tear out the hearts of Superman.
That'd be awesome. That would be awesome.
Fatality. The real fatality, not that crap they wouldn't give us in Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe.
Yeah, that'll probably never happen again.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
I prefer the finisher from the original Injustice. Injustice Gods Among Us, because Scorpion was DLC for that game.
Yeah, he was.
Oh, yeah.
But he didn't kill anyone.
That's very true. He didn't.
He
burned him.
Outfit, though.
Yeah, he burned them, but that they
people.
didn't die. Yeah, something about superheroes where they just won't die. It's just one of those things, unless you're the Joker, and then you come back.
Okay, you know what? Actually, that's a good place to start.
Jeez, that's just freaking confusing. But yes,
that's a good place to start. Okay, let's start with Injustice.
Side.
It's sure.
Injustice.
Yes.
The story of Injustice.
I
coming off of the first one.
Love it.
It takes place in this alternate universe where Superman has gone bad after. It's one of the multiverses. I don't know which one it is, which Earth.
The good one. 2,507.31.315.2.
I don't think there's that many numbers.
7.
Two universes.
But in my world, there's more. So, cage match. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The point is, though, is that in this world, the Joker tricked Superman somehow. It's not explained in the game.
Yes, it was. Yeah, that's true. They didn't really explain it well in the game, but I remember what it was, though.
Did you read the comics?
Yes, I had the comics.
Okay.
He basically used some of Sandman's his hallucinogenic stuff or whatever to get him to think that Lois Lane was really him or something like that. And he kidnapped he kidnapped Lois Lane. Superman went after him. He used the hallucinogenic to get Superman to think that Lois Lane was him. So he took... No, not him. He thought... one of the villains. I can't remember which. And he ended up taking that villain all the way up into, space or whatever. And, of course, killed Lois Lane. And he comes back, and then Joker's sitting right there. He's like, what the fuck? And then he, tells him what's going on. And as he does that, Metropolis gets leveled by the nuclear bomb because nobody could find it.
And then also Lois Lane was pregnant. So
yes, Lois Lane was pregnant. So technically he killed killed Lois and the baby. So
and then allowed Metropolis to get nuked.
Yeah. And then as a result he got so pissed off that he just put his hand right through the Joker.
Yeah, that's the part that's actually in the game. Well, the first game.
Fatality.
So in this world, the Joker is dead.
Yes.
And it's pretty definitively. And
yes.
This is what happened in Injustice 1, and because of that that event, Superman decides that he needs to have control of the whole world so that he can monitor all crime and make sure that no criminal gets away with anything
anymore.
And there's the whole story of the first one where it becomes into two different dimensions coming in and trying to stop one another or help one another depending on which side you're on, which is Superman's regime.
Superman brought it because after it happened and all that stuff went down, the Superman of the future came back to get Batman of the future or of the other universe came to get the Batman of the other universe to get him to help him so they could prevent it. It was mad confusing as to what
the first game is confusing because it's different dimensions and there's two versions of every character except for Joker, of which there's only one.
It's only one Joker because one's dead.
And
actually, there was another one.
A few exceptions.
There were a few characters
that off screen.
Yeah, there were a few superheroes that got killed.
Yeah,
and I have no idea why Batman wasn't killed because he broke the crap out of his back.
Yeah. And
kind of like Bane.
On screen too.
It's like they won't let. It's like they won't let Batman die. They just keep breaking his back. I don't get it.
We'll paralyze him a couple of times.
Yeah, that's right. We won't kill you.
But no, Shazam was killed pretty brutally.
Yep. The Flash died, right? Or was it Green Arrow? It was Green Arrow or the Flash?
It's Green Arrow.
Okay, Green Arrow died.
Yeah.
And it was just two factions. It was just two factions of the Justice League
No, no,
It ended
no,
up
no, no.
splitting
Green
off.
Arrow's in Injustice 2, so no, he didn't die. Unless it
No,
was like
he died.
No, he
This
died
is
in the
the
first
second
one.
version of Green Arrow that died.
Yeah. There was like one version. There was only one version of Green Arrow. It was like kind of like the Joker. It was like in one universe he was dead, in the other universe he was alive.
well, then in the proper universe, not the alternate one where like everything's still good, then I guess Green Arrow died in the good one because he's definitely in Injustice 2, and Injustice 2 doesn't mess with the multiple universes.
No, the Green Arrow from the good universe stayed in the evil universe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because he brought him from the good universe.
Injustice
help,
1,
because he
let me
died.
put it this way. Injustice 1 story is very confusing.
It is, but it's so good. It's really,
not
really
bad.
good story. I
not bad.
love of the DC multi tie-in crossovers that they've done. Honestly, I think this one. I honestly think that was my favorite, even over all the Green Lantern, multi-ring things and Blackest Night and all other kind of stuff. Because Injustice was deep, it was dark, and even though they used all the multiverses and stuff like that, as you're reading it, it's not really that hard to follow, even though in the game it's really hard to follow because they have to take out a lot in the game in order for them to get
well that's actually a good point because I'm going only by the game. I did not read the comic books because after I played through Injustice story I was like, I'm good.
Yeah, the comic book was so much, and that was why I loved it, because really they made the comic book to go along with the game. It wasn't one of those where they made the comic book and then came back and made the game. They made the comic book because they were making the game, and it just took off. And they were like, you know what? We got to continue this. And it was so good. And that was why I liked both the comic book and the game.
I think I read like one issue and then it was like in year 4 or something, so I was like completely lost.
Oh yeah, and they start getting into the different years and stuff like that. That's when I was like, that's enough. I don't need to go that far into it. Bringing in Constantine and all these other characters, I was like, nah, that's all right.
And then I'm pretty sure they also had like a lead up. Like I think there's an Injustice 2 comic book series now because of the second one.
Yes, it's even more confusing, and I don't like it.
Which is strange because that brings us over to Injustice 2. After the events of Injustice 1, Superman ends up getting captured and he's put away.
He's in super jail.
He's in super jail. Blasted by Krypton rays, I believe.
Yeah, like oh, we lost Shawn.
Oh no.
No, we gotta try to bring him back because now everything's gonna look funky. God dang it. Let's see if we can bring him back real quick, ladies and gentlemen. Invitato. At least you can still hear our lovely voices, though.
Yes, this is also true. Well, you know what? I guess I'll still keep going. It brings us to Injustice 2. Superman's been captured. He's being kept in super jail. And as a result, people are not very trusting of superheroes at the moment. And right now, Bruce Wayne, not Batman, because he doesn't want, because of the whole not trusting people thing, superhero thing. Bruce Wayne is just trying to keep everyone calm and be like, hey, I know this bad shit happened, but we can't let them win, and we got to come back out and start populating the cities again and everything and go back to life as it was. Meanwhile, he knows that there's some crazy crap going on. And as a prologue, Injustice 2 actually re-shows the demise of Krypton, specifically from the point of view of, oh God, what's her real name? Kira?
Sure.
I'm talking about Supergirl.
That sounds right. I can't remember her real name. All those Kryptonians, it's like, eh.
Well, I feel like it should be like Kiel or something like that.
Kiara, Kilala.
But I can't remember her like human name either. Kara Zor-El.
Kara. Yeah. There you go.
Kara Zor-El. Who is the cousin of Superman, in case anyone does not know. And it shows how, she got pushed off to the side, and that's why she didn't get to Earth until later, and why she didn't age like Superman, but they don't really get into that. That's just kind of like a primer as to why Supergirl's now all of a sudden in the picture.
Right.
And it also shows that hang on a minute. Give Shawn another call.
Oh, okay.
His computer's screwed up.
Give me a call. In potato.
Oh, and anyway, it just shows why Supergirl's in the show, and it also shows out the very first time that we see the henchman of who ends up being the main bad guy in the story, Brainiac.
Yes. Who I don't necessarily like as a villain or as... I just didn't like that aspect of this. But yeah, that's something else.
Shawn, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah,
awesome.
I can hear you. Okay, welcome back. All right, so we're talking about the story of Injustice 2, and I'm not gonna like walk through the whole freaking thing, but the point is the story in Injustice 2 goes on. Brainiac ends up invading Earth. They end up needing Superman's help, so the Superman's regime, so to speak, which is kind of gone into hiding over in Khonshu. Is that where it is? It's the place where Black Adam.
Kahndaq.
Bless you.
They went into hiding in Kahndaq, which is where Black Adam and Wonder Woman are, who are kind of like the last parts of Superman's regime left. They, with Superman and the rest of Batman's resistance, pretty much team up and go to fight Brainiac. You know, hilarity ensues, as they say.
Of course.
And they defeat Brainiac. Yeah.
Well, isn't it that they get to the point where they have to fight Brainiac, but they realize that they can't beat Brainiac without Superman's help, so they let him out, and they tell him, you know, we're gonna let you out, but only because we need your help, and you got to go back or something like
one
that.
chapter.
Yeah.
Find out about Brainiac. They first they do some reconnaissance. Like something's going on. We don't know what's going on.
Right.
Find out it's Brainiac. Batman goes. Superman goes. How do I beat Brainiac? And Superman goes, you can't beat him.
Right. You can't beat him. You need my help.
Away. And then
That's right.
He goes off in one chapter, tries one thing, and goes, well, that didn't work. I guess I need his help after all.
That's right. Martha sucks. No, don't say that. Oh.
Yeah. And then they join forces. They infiltrate Brainiac. You know, this thing doesn't work because of his shield and all this stuff, and they have trouble and blah, 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 blah. Point is, they eventually get into his ship, and they fight Brainiac. They defeat him. But then they can't agree on what to do with his information, because that's what he does. Brainiac goes around to different planets, sucks up all the information and resources of any worth, and then destroys the planet. They can't decide on what to do with it. Superman wants to use it to he wants to use the ship, which is where all the information is, to restore everything.
I don't even remember. All I remember is they were trying to figure out if they were going to redo the Justice League, and they looked at each other and they're like, I don't trust you. I don't trust you either. But I still miss you. And the bromance was like, maybe I still like you. Maybe I still like you too. But I'm not going to hug you. Okay, I'm Batman. And then they walk off.
Actually, that's not what happens.
Something like that. That's all I remember, because I got tired of it.
You were right until the walk-off part.
To the walk-off part, they didn't walk off? Oh, okay.
No, they didn't walk off. They fight.
They fought? Oh, I thought they fought before they got to that point where they were like, you know, I like you. Sorta.
No, they were fighting back and forth and everything. No, what is it they're fighting over? It's something to do with Brainiac's ship. I think it's that Brainiac had absorbed Metropolis, and Superman wanted to try to use oh god, Superman wanted to try to use the ship to bring back Metropolis, but he didn't know how.
Yeah. But
it was too risky. Batman said, just don't risk it, because you could blow up everything and destroy everything. It's better off if we just rebuild.
That's right. Space-time continuum could just go kaplooey.
Yeah. But they couldn't agree to that, so they ended up fighting. And actually, at that point in the game is when you have to make a choice on which side you're going to choose. And then you make your decision, and then stuff happens, you know, a whole bunch of fights. And then the final fight is Batman versus Superman. That's when the whole thing with what you just said, BJ, happens. Except they fight, they don't walk away. And then depending on who you chose is who will win.
Right.
And spoilers at this point. I guess spoilers this whole thing, but who cares? It's 2 years now.
Yeah.
If you pick Superman, he's able to get control of Brainiac's ship and he restores everything, and he also uses the headgear from the ship to put Batman under his control, and he jails Supergirl for not agreeing with him. So now Supergirl is in super jail.
And Injustice 3 comes. Yes.
But if you go with Batman, then
it's boring.
Batman, I think, neutralizes the ship or something, and then he teams up with Supergirl to restore the balance of the Earth or whatever the hell.
Yeah.
And he sends
the
Superman to the
NetherRealm.
No, that's the name of the studio.
Dang it! I was close.
The Phantom Zone.
Yeah, the Nether Zone. Yes.
Where he threw Zod.
Yes.
So now he's got to put up with that.
And flip around in space.
I don't know which ending is canon. I don't know if the comic books go beyond that. The comic book rarely ever stops at that point.
Yeah. It usually goes on year 15. I didn't read the second one because it was too confusing.
So thoughts about the story? That's more or less the story. You two probably remember it, I hope.
Sorta.
Yeah.
I didn't pay too much attention to the story in Injustice 2, just mainly because as I was trying to read the comic, they lost me within like the second issue. And I was like, oh, my head hurts.
Well, I will say this. I will say that I think Injustice 2's story is the best paced out of any of the NetherRealm games, including the Mortal Kombat games. It has the best animation. It has the best voice acting. It does. From a technical and like checking off points on a list. It is fantastic.
It's a beautiful game. Yeah, right? It's a beautiful game, just top to bottom.
I'm not a huge comic book fan or anything like that. I've mentioned that before. I like comics, but I'm not like a huge nerd of them or anything. As someone who really likes Superman and who really likes Batman and is familiar with a lot of these characters, I feel like a lot of them don't act the way that they normally would. And that bothers me.
Okay. Is there a particular example?
Well, the big obvious example is Superman.
Well, yeah, that's the big draw of the whole series, anyways. That he's supposed to be not evil, but just
it's evil.
Whatever. He's evil. Superman is really the whole premise of Injustice, anyway. So
yeah, and
there's no getting away from that.
Yeah, I mean that's the one big example. Some of the other ones are probably Robin. I feel like specifically because it's the fourth Robin.
Yeah,
it's the fourth Robin.
Dark.
It's
Damian Wayne.
It's Damian Wayne.
Yeah,
if you would have told me it was
because his son is like dead.
Yeah, if you would have told me it's like, oh, this is Jason Todd in this universe, I was like, oh, okay,
right,
that makes sense.
Yeah. But this is because Damian's like real dark. He's dark. Well, I can kind of see where you're coming from because Injustice is the whole storyline. As you could tell from the very first portion of Injustice, is really dark. It's one of the first. I don't want to say it's one of the first ones where you really deal with death of a lot of the characters, but it just seems like the tone of this is a lot darker than than most people are used to for a DC storyline. So I
would partially agree with that. I think that if you're a comic book fan, then you're like, oh, okay, I've seen
comic right.
But if you're
comic book fans
just seen the movies, then yes,
right. Yeah. Comic book fans, they're like, oh, this is nothing. But just people who are familiar with the movies, like you said, that aren't really deep into the comic books, are like, whoa, evil Superman? What the, and then, hey, Robin isn't going, holy jeepers, Batman. It's not that Robin. So it's like, whoa, what's going on here? There's a lot going on.
Or even if you're like, you saw like Batman Forever and it's like, but my parents are dead. Chris O'Donnell.
Right. Yeah.
He's kind of like young, kind of
goofy, annoying. It's like, I want to be Batman, but I can't because he won't give me the suit with the nipples on it. I don't want a suit with nipples on it.
Like, I'm capable. It's like, it's not that you're not capable. It's because you're acting the way you are.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah. So like it's a little bit darker, and I don't mind that. I do have a chip on my shoulder for whenever they have plot lines where Superman is the bad guy, and because to me it seems like because Superman is kind of a difficult character to write for since he's so powerful. Not that he doesn't have weaknesses, he does, but because he's so powerful, a lot of writers just go like, "Screw it, we'll just make him evil," and then his own hubris is what takes him down. And that's lazy to me.
It's mostly
it can be
another problem that I have with a lot of DC comics, especially with writers like Scott Snyder, because Scott Snyder and to a lesser extent Frank Miller on this one is that they make Batman too powerful.
Sure.
Yes.
It's not an issue of Superman's evil and it's himself that brings it down. It's just that Batman's good.
Yeah.
He can beat anybody.
Yeah, Batman is a super genius that thinks 15 steps ahead of everyone. Yeah, that's how they write him in this.
It's dumb because they think Batman's the best character and they don't put it in there. Just like, Batman wins most fights because his fights are like against Bane, not fucking Brainiac.
Right.
That's why he wins a lot of his fights.
Or Joker.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, Joker can fight, but he's
nowhere near Batman's status in fighting skill. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those like man versus God. It's just dumb. It's just dumb. Like that's why I actually kind of liked the first Injustice because they're like, well, I can't beat him. I know I can't beat him.
Right.
So I'm just bringing another Superman to kick this one's ass.
Right. Yeah, that's why I was like, that was a a good idea. I was like, there you go.
His head and thinking about it, it's like I'm just gonna bring in another Superman. Fuck you.
Right.
But especially with like the Batman versus Superman fight in Injustice 2, it just feels kind of late night.
Right. It's like,
you should not be able to win this
And
fight.
I would say, we just need an evil Batman, but we have Lex Luthor, so that's kind of
pretty much.
Yeah.
I was just thinking,
Lex Luthor dies in the first one. There's another one.
Yes, he does. He does. Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, that's the one thing I think about, but that's one thing I just don't like about a lot of these storylines, but I think Injustice actually did it well.
Yeah, I do agree with that. You have to sort of suspend your previous knowledge of a lot of these characters and just kind of take the story as it is, and then once you do, it's really well written and acted and performed and all this stuff. And what is happening?
That sounded like a digital sneeze.
It was a digital sneeze.
I was like, oh crap. Did that come out of his nose?
Okay. So I mean, that's my thought on the story. It's just it's very well done and everything, but you have to kind of suspend your disbelief for some of the character traits of these characters that you probably already know.
Yeah, it's got its flaws, but they pull it off really well. The production value of them pulling off the story is really well done.
It's one of those that for many characters I like the incarnation of, but there are some characters like Superman and Wonder Woman that I just don't like. I don't like their
Yeah.
characterization.
Oh God, Wonder Woman. Yeah,
And-
you know what? Yeah. What happened to Wonder Woman? She's just
Apparently,
got
Frank Miller got a hold of her.
They couldn't figure out how to write anything, so they made her a tag team partner to Superman. It's like,
Yeah.
that's basically a love interest / tag team partner to Superman, which
Yeah.
I always hated when they did that. Even before
And-
Injustice, I hated when they did that.
Yeah, if you watch something like, or read something like The Dark Knight Strikes Again, the sequel to The Dark Knight Rises, that's exactly what Wonder Woman is, and it's the dumbest thing ever.
Right.
There's literally a scene in the comic where they have super sex in the
Super sex. Is that like vampire sex from Twilight?
No,
Oh, that's bad.
maybe
That's
it
bad.
causes like major weather occurrences to
That
Oh,
sounds
wow.
very similar.
That's
Yeah, that's
Oh,
why I was just
man.
like, well,
Oh no.
that's bad.
it's not good. It is not.
Ugh. Oh man, do we need to take a break on that one?
I think we do. We talked a good amount about the story, but we'll come back with like gameplay and modes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Awesome, everybody. We'll be back. You might hear a little bit in the background because, you know, your technical difficulties are all mine. I own them all. So, yeah, we'll be right back, everybody.
Also try to.
And ladies and gentlemen, we are back with more Injustice 2. We are deconstructing the game, talking about what we liked and didn't like about it. We just finished with the story, and now I think we have to hop into the fact that this is actually a video game. So
What?
we play it. So let's talk a bit about the gameplay. So
I press buttons and I win. Yes!
I press buttons and I win. Yeah. You know what? But you know what? That is good. That is good because I don't care what the FGC will say. The game has to be fun first. Because if the game isn't fun, then people aren't going to want to compete in it. So worry about your balance shit later. Give me cool shit to do. I want to be Supergirl and throw someone up into space and then throw them into a freaking asteroid and then freaking eye blast them back and down into Earth.
Yeah, that's fun. I like doing that.
Hell yeah.
It's lots of fun.
And if the FGC doesn't like that because it costs all the meters, well, then you don't have to do it.
Yeah, man.
I don't know what type of tangent you went on, but do we need to have a talk? Do we need to have a little bit of a session, Esteban?
all I'm saying is that sometimes people don't give games from NetherRealm the respect that they deserve just because they feel like their games aren't the most balanced or caters more to a casual audience. To which I say you're complaining about them making a game fun over being perfect for competition. And people have to remember that this is a game first and a sport second.
True that.
And that's true with everything, including baseball. Baseball has to be fun first before it would be a sport.
Yep.
Now. We're not allowed to have fun.
That's true. We're talking about baseball.
Yeah. Got a question for you guys. I know you're good question. What are your mains in this?
BJ, do you want to go first?
Yeah.
I'd probably say Wonder Woman.
Okay. My main kept bouncing around for a while. At first, it was Superman because Superman was my main in Injustice 1. Second, very close to Batgirl, who was so good in that game. I wish they brought her back. But then I got kind of bored of him because he just kind of played the same way as he did in the first game. They didn't really change much. So I messed around with Black Canary for a little bit. And then it wasn't until actually recently that I found that I really enjoy Scarecrow, who is a character type that normally I do not play. He's very much a keep away kind of character and long distance type of thing. So kind of like a Dalsim type of character.
Yeah.
I usually do not play Dalsim in Street Fighter.
Yeah, he's kind of hard to use for me.
He is, but I actually really enjoy him.
Yeah.
What about you, Shawn? What's your main?
Green Arrow.
Green Arrow. Nice.
About keep away. That is the ultimate keep away character. Like once I actually got into more of the minutia of how he works, it was him and Black Canary. Honestly, both of those together. Black Canary if I needed to be more close up. Green Arrow if I wanted to keep away more. Those are basically a perfect combo in my opinion.
Yeah. That's actually one thing about that I like about Scarecrow, because a lot of characters in this game like to do that keep away with the projectiles, and he has a teleport. And if you know how to use it correctly, you can stop that the projectile spam.
Yeah, I don't like to spam. I like to do just because with Green Arrow you can do the electric arrows, the fire arrows, and the ice arrows, which if you know how to use them right, then he can be easy to counter, but he can be really good if you know how to play him. And then Black Canary is just good if someone's giving you a lot of trouble up front because she has to counter.
Yeah, she's just full on rush down. She's just like I'm gonna keep going, and you better figure out a way to stop me because I'm not gonna stop.
Yeah.
That is one thing about this game that's highly controversial. Justice 1 also had this problem. The arenas in Injustice 2, as well as Injustice 1, are very, very long.
Yeah.
Longer than most fighting games. And as a result, also because a lot of projectiles are rather quick in this game, you have this problem where a lot of the fighters would just keep doing a whole bunch of projectiles to keep you away, and there wasn't a whole lot you can do.
Yeah, that was in Injustice 1, that was a big problem with Deathstroke. And I've not heard that much in terms of, and I've not experienced that much with Deadshot when trying to do that. But now that they have more gun type characters like Jason Todd, because they brought Red Hood.
Red Hood, yeah.
And then you have Green Arrow, and then more of the projectile type people. In my opinion, the worst one is Black Adam. I do not like Black Adam in this, and even to a similar extent, Batman with some of his projectiles. It's like I understand that it is a very long stage, and you have the stage transitions, which can make it even longer potentially. I don't think in Mortal Kombat 10 had that issue.
No, the stages aren't as long.
Yeah, it didn't seem as long, and it just feels a bit more condensed because you don't have too many people that have those projectile type of.
The other thing also is a lot of the projectiles in Mortal Kombat are more mystical based. Like you have Scorpion throwing a spear out of nowhere, because where's it coming from? Sub-Zero's throwing ice balls, and Ermac is throwing like energy projectiles. These are all like very mystical things. Injustice 2 is quote unquote more grounded in that it has a lot, like you said, gun characters. So it's just people firing guns.
Yeah.
Or at least projectiles that could be relatively realistic, aka Batman's Batarang.
Yes, two belt.
Yeah, it's a
or Wonder Woman's shield. Yeah, or Wonder Woman's shield.
Or if you're gonna go with like,
or Green Lantern.
Yeah, Black Arrow, Superman or Supergirl's laser eyes.
Yeah.
And what was the other dude's name? The Red Lantern. I can't remember his name.
Oh,
Atrocitus.
Atrocitus. Yeah.
My son loves using him.
Pretty much what I mean is there's a lot more wind up to the projectiles in Mortal Kombat, and there's less startup and wind up in Injustice 2. So they just like all of a sudden there's this projectile coming after you.
Yeah, they just whip it out.
Yeah, I was like pew pew. That's a problem. They knew it was a problem. That's why they actually gave you a way of dealing with it. They had an ability that's cost meter for you to do a very quick ground roll. And that gets you.
There is also an air escape, I think.
There's also an air escape, yes. I don't think that's for getting out of the way of projectiles, though. But yeah, it does. It's definitely there. They did this to kind of help people get through that, but then they just threw in more characters. Like the reason why Batman is such a problem in Injustice 2 is that they changed how he throws his batarangs. The first one, he used to pull them out and go like that. And this one, he spins around backwards, so he actually loses ground, and while he's spinning, he throws it out just really quickly.
Yeah.
So it's even quicker than it used to be. Unfortunately, it's still a problem. It's not as much of a problem thanks to the ground roll, and there's some characters that can teleport, but it seems to me like they didn't really get to the heart of the problem, which is stop having these characters have projectiles that come out so quickly. And
I feel like for some characters you can't really like bypass that, because you've got people who want to have Jason Todd or Deadshot or characters that use guns, and you can't really slow down bullets
or laser eyes.
Or laser eyes. Yeah.
You can't slow down bullets, but like make Red Hood have to like cock the gun before he shoots it or something. Because like even
think
Ryu,
that's what
the
they
very
did
first
with Deadshot, because I think Deadshot, like Deathstroke in the first one, you could constantly spam with it, but Deadshot, I think they have to like, I don't want to say reload, but it has almost like a cooldown on it.
Well, like even if you're constantly like in Street Fighter, when you're constantly spamming Hadouken with Ryu, he has to reach back, go Hadouken, finish saying Hadouken, and then he's gonna go reach back and then throw the Hadouken again. With someone like Red Hood, he just bang, bang, bang.
Yeah,
right? You have to do something like where either he goes bang and then he's got to cock the gun again and go bang. Maybe if it's not an automatic or something, or if it's automatic,
or maybe have him switch guns or something like that.
Make him switch guns, or make it so that when he shoots, there's like enough blowback so that he has to re-aim again. You know, the gun recoil.
Like,
you know,
it's almost like Green Arrow's arrows, because you have to pull it back and let go. You
pull it back and let go. Then he's got to reach behind and grab another arrow, and then see, there's ways you can do stuff like that, but they just didn't, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And I understand that, like, probably in the comic books they were like, well, we pull out 3 at a time arrows so that we don't have to do that or whatever. But you have to think about the game a little bit, at least in terms of balance, at least a little.
Yeah, and going back to like Green Arrow, like in order to have the fire arrows, which have a lot more oomph to them, you have to perform a specific move so you can switch the arrows over to the fire arrows.
Right.
So having something like that for some of the gun characters could definitely help, or make it part of their special moves, like with Supergirl. Her laser eyes or whatever are based off of a meter.
Mhm.
It is based off a meter, and you have to wait for that meter to refill in order to use that move again. Having something like that for those type of spam happy characters would definitely help.
Yeah. And like you could always still incorporate stuff like that. For example, you know, I was saying about, well, you need to shoot and then cock and then take into consideration recoil or something like that. Maybe if you know, meter burn it, then that's when it comes out really quick.
Yeah.
You know. So that would be a better way of balancing it, so that you can still have that, you know, kind of like that rush. You know, again, I'm in favor of being able to do cool things, but that's how you balance it.
Yeah.
So it has problems in terms of spacing and the stage size and all that stuff. I would also shrink it down a little bit, the stages and everything. But other than that, like the combos are really cool to pull off. There's a lot of juggling that you can do. Even if you're someone who doesn't understand fighting games, you can kind of understand just what a string is and kind of get that done. And even if you're not, you can always just kind of learn, well, these are the super moves and or the special moves, and I'm gonna do this, and this is fun. And then also it's technically it's a 5-button fighter. But it only has 3 basic attack buttons: light, medium, and heavy. And that's really easy to understand. You don't have to worry about, oh, is it a punch or is it a kick? Well, usually with these characters, you don't have that distinction. There's some characters where you can't really be doing that. Some characters have weapons like Aquaman, he has his trident.
Yeah.
So you don't need that distinction, and that actually simplifies things for the better.
A 5-button fighter, where's the 5th button?
The meter burn.
Okay. Sorry, I was a little confused there.
Or actually technically 6, because there's the switch stance button as well that no one uses.
Okay, that's a
That's true.
That doesn't really affect gameplay.
Yeah.
And I thought you could also meter burn without the meter burn button. I thought there was a combo you can make. Maybe I'm thinking something else.
No, there is. There's also the action button for, you know, interacting with the background and all that stuff, and the throw button. But those can be done by pressing other buttons. Like I think light and medium is interact, and light and heavy is throw, or it might be the other way around. I'm not sure.
I thought medium and heavy was throw.
Maybe it is. I can't remember.
No, you're right. It's heavy and light. I keep on forgetting how the buttons work.
Yeah, it's a square, triangle, and X if you're on PlayStation, or X, Y, and A if you're on Xbox.
Yeah, they don't have it as the way I would maneuver it, but there you go.
You'd probably put the heavy over on the B or the circle, huh?
No, I actually like heavy at triangle.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, the way I like it is heavy, medium, light. I like for X to be my light attack, the circle to be my medium, and then the triangle to be my heavy. If I set it up.
Oh, okay, that's okay. I mean, that makes sense. But I've just never done that.
Yeah, and then square would be the special or the interact. I have it on Xbox, but I know more of the controls. I think it's better on PlayStation, but in terms of that.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's the way it's set up. Technically, it's a 6-button fire, even though the stance button is never used. I wish they would just take it out. I thought they were going to when Mortal Kombat X came out, because they announced the variations. I'm like, oh, you're going to be able to switch between them during gameplay. They must just get rid of that stance button that did nothing. You just press that. Nope. But
I think, which here comes another aspect of gameplay now that you mention that, which I think is stupid, beyond stupid, actually.
Okay.
Unless BJ, you have something else to say. And that's the gear mechanic. I hate it.
Really?
Okay.
I love the gear mechanic.
I don't like it because anytime I play single player or story or the towers or multiverse or whatever you call it, I
Multiverse.
like having different I like having characters look differently, but in order for me to have the best, I'm the person that's just like, okay, I'm gonna have the best numbers for all of this, and so it just makes it kind of grindy, and there's no way to purchase more of them, and you have to get it through the loot boxes. I just don't like that concept. And then they said, oh, well, you can only hold so much at a time and you have to break all of it down. I'm just like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I just feel like the progression is dumb. I don't like it. And I wish that it was something a lot simpler.
I partially agree with you. I disagree on what I think the problem is, though. The gear system kind of reminds me of a mode that was on Street Fighter Alpha 3 back when it was on the PlayStation. There used to be a world tour mode where you would go through and fight other fighters, and you would actually gain stats.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yep. I've got it on my Vita, so it took me a little while to remember.
You would play through that, and you would actually level up your character, and then you could have like a Ryu who's just normal fierce punch did like 25%.
Right.
Like you can make your character just broken as hell.
But like an Uber one attack or something like that.
Yeah. I found that to be extremely fun. When it came to playing against my friends, I would never use them though, because I knew it was broken. But it wasn't meant for that. It was meant just for this mode for you to have fun, and then you could have a power fantasy when you took the character out to someplace else. The gear system works very similarly in that it gives you increases in stats and everything. I don't like it because I feel like the stats aren't quite strong enough. It's only when you get really uber stuff does it start feeling really significant.
Well,
otherwise,
that's me.
Yeah. It's only when you get the really strong stuff does it actually feel significant. Otherwise, it feels very inconsequential. And there's a lot of inconsequential gear in this game, which brings me to what I think is the real problem, is that the gear is tied to loot boxes. Now, I'm not a fan of loot boxes to begin with, but these mother box decoder bullshit that they have in this game,
That was weird.
the drop rates are terrible. They're terrible. They're actually absolutely awful. When I was playing this earlier last month and getting really good with Scarecrow, I was constantly playing Scarecrow and leveling them up. I got them all the way to level 20. And I had more gear for Supergirl, who I had not touched, than Scarecrow. Because they kept giving me stuff for her. And this with the option, when you go into the options menu, you have an ability in there that says gives have the game be more generous towards the character that you're currently playing as. So you can sway it to be more for you. That shit doesn't work. I had like 40 pieces of gear for Scarecrow and like 60 something for Supergirl, and I hadn't touched her.
Yeah.
And I had like 50 something for Black Canary, who I had not touched in a long time. It's insane. Like the drop rate for that thing is bad. It's bad. That thing was clearly made for you to spend money on, which you better not do, because the drop rate is terrible. So you're not going to get, it's even more so that you're not going to get what you want, because the numbers are already jacked up.
Yeah. I never bought any type of, I don't buy loot boxes traditionally. Yeah. I've only bought them for Overwatch, and I bought them once during a special event. But here I would never buy anything with that. The only thing I would actually buy are some of the costumes and skins and things like that. But that's because that's what I like in it, having some of the extra skins. But here, no, absolutely not. Don't do it. It's dumb. And
I personally, in my opinion, this is why they put it in there. I feel like that loot structure that they put in there, and the gear, well, not loot, the gear structure that they put in there as loot was more so to get the casual people, because they weren't worried about the core. Because I'm more casual. I absolutely loved it. It was a big reason why I played the game and a big reason why I continued to play the game, because I wasn't big on playing online against other people. You know, I loved going in and playing the challenges, the multiverse challenges, and saying, oh, there's a challenge that, you know, you get all the way up and you're going to get I forget the levels of the loot boxes, but, you got to use so-and-so, and it's got the special conditions for each of the matches. And in order for you to get through some of them, you might even have to change the layout or the gear structure of your guy in order to get through some of the matches, you know, that kind of thing. So I liked that it kind of artificially pushed you to not only play the game more, but maybe even take a chance on playing a different character more. Because like you said, Esteban, you would get a ton of gear for somebody you don't use. So you'd be like, I like using so-and-so though. But then, you know, you go over and then maybe you find that other character that you have all the gear for you like, and then maybe as you're playing that character it gives you a lot more loot for somebody else, and then eventually, you know, it's almost like they artificially in a dumb way get you or entice you to play as a lot more of the characters rather than just saying, this is my main, I'm only going to use this guy because I get, you know, that's who I get all my gear for, that's who I play with all the time, and now you got like a level 50 Superman, and then you have like nothing for all the other characters in the game, and you're like, I've done so much with this character, I don't want to go to start all over again with somebody else because there's nothing for it.
I should clarify, I don't mind getting other gear for other characters, and as a matter of fact, I anticipate it.
Yeah, you just want more because you're actually using that guy. I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah, you want something for the guy you're using so you can actually improve him. I definitely 100% agree on that.
Like, for example, I have like 7 different skins for Black Canary.
Mm-hmm.
And
you never used her.
No, well, I used her a little bit, but and then I
like
have
in the story
Supergirl. Yeah. But even in but for like Supergirl, who I think I played as 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
I have like almost all her skins unlocked.
Awesome.
Supergirl is now my main.
You got Power Girl? You got the Power Girl outfit?
No, I don't.
Oh man, I think I actually bought that outfit. Did I buy that outfit? I can't remember. No, you know what I did? I think initially when it first came out, I actually used the Injustice mobile app, and I got enough something so that I could actually get that. And then I went in and I actually bought one other skin. I bought like the John Stewart skin for like Green Lantern or something.
Yeah, I haven't bought the Ultimate Edition, which means I've got all of them.
Got all the skins, yeah.
Yeah, I have just the vanilla version. I've never gone back to get the DLC because, like I've mentioned, actually, I think before on this podcast, I actually did not play as much Injustice 2 as I originally wanted to because I got it around the same time as Tekken 7, and that ended up taking up more of my time. Which, by the way, was unfortunate. I think Injustice 2 would have been even more successful if it hadn't been released like 3 weeks before Tekken 7.
Probably.
But then again, you were talking about earlier. I think Tekken is more of a technical fighter.
It is.
More the hardcore audience, and then Injustice more of the casual type of gameplay style.
Yes.
And this monetization style harkens back to that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, then that might be true because, in my opinion, I feel that Tekken 7 is a better game, like in terms of the combat and everything.
Oh yeah, top to bottom. Injustice 2, in my eyes, Injustice 2 was the playground for NetherRealms. They would take it, so they would use it so that they could test out and try out little things or features or whatever they think they might use on a Mortal Kombat or something like that. You know, just to kind of get people used to it and say, oh, look, we can do something nice and shiny. And then they'd be like, ha, we're going to bash your head in when we get the new Mortal Kombat. That's how I always looked at Injustice as a franchise. And I'm saying that like there's 5 of them. But, you know, that's just how it always felt like for me.
I mean, Injustice can get pretty hardcore.
Which is surprising because I never looked at it as one of those fighters that, you know, the fighting community was always excited about when it came out. It was just like one of those, it's like, oh, it's Injustice, that's cute.
They're not, and that's because NetherRealm doesn't get the attention that it deserves. Again, that's what I'm saying. But the thing is, though, is that like, is Mortal Kombat more of a technical fighter than Injustice? Yes, it is. But the disparity between the two is not as wide as you think.
Yeah. Here's one thing, and I'm kind of leading this into another part of it. If you look at the towers in Mortal Kombat or the multiverse as it is in Injustice 2,
right?
You see something that I have never seen in any other type of fighting game, especially the more technical fighters, and that's the
content.
Well, not just the content. Sure,
they do that a lot.
I really like how the flavor text gives you in the multiverse. It does give you those different challenges, and it's those challenges and modifiers, I think they're called.
Sure.
Where it's just like, oh, we'll give this extra armor, or every so often bombs will drop from the ceiling.
Yeah, the modifiers. Yeah.
Stupid and completely just fucking pisses me
through
off.
this entire ladder, blocking is disabled because fuck you.
Or hey, we'll just blink the lights on and off, making it unable to see what the fuck you're doing. Or we're going to give you motion sickness because we're going to teeter the stage up and down and make you stick to your stomach.
Basically, what we're getting at is this feature has its pluses and minuses.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like it, actually. It's frustrating at times, but I like it. It mixes it up.
There's a couple of them was like, fuck you.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure they've got some of the crazy.
Like when they combine them, like, oh, hey, you're having fun? Well, you can't block.
And you can't use your projectile.
There is one where it's just like, oh, you start off with 1 HP, and then it keeps on building gradually until you get hit.
Oh, yeah.
And then once you get hit, it stops building up. And that's one that aggravates the fuck out of me. But some of them are fun. Some of them are really fun.
A lot of them are fun. I would say it's a net positive.
Yeah.
There's definitely some of them that are like, why? Fucking Ed Boon. Why you do this to me, man?
Yeah, you spend like 30 minutes on one that just frustrates the crap out of you, but you're like, I'm going to get through this one.
Yeah, on the flip side of it, sometimes they'll pop up. It's just like, oh, you want to get an extra little mother box? Well, use your medium attack 7 times throughout this entire match.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, that's fucking easy to do.
Yeah, like, okay, yeah, sure. There you go. No problem.
By the way, if you ever want to cheat the multiverse events and get gold and everything, just end the match with your finisher, no matter what. That gives you the highest bonus of anything. And if you use that, you can just abuse it. That's how I got all my boxes.
Yeah.
But it's stuff like that. It's stuff like that, those modifiers, that shows, okay, this is more of an I don't want to say arcadey feel, but it's more of a casual feel. Because they're just saying, okay, we're just gonna have some fun. We're not. It's like items in Smash. It's like items in Smash. It's not okay. Fox only, Final Destination, no items, blah blah blah. It's just like, what if you just want to beat a fucker's head in with a baseball bat?
Have you been playing Negan in Tekken 7?
I don't have Tekken 7. But
I looked up that dude the other day because I didn't know anything about him. How the fuck is this guy not in Mortal Kombat?
Because brutal. He's brutal. In the comic book, I loved Negan as a character. In the show, I didn't like him that much, but in the comic book, he's freaking. Oh, he's awesome.
I liked Negan in the show before the show kind of went down the toilet.
Yeah, they drew Negan out way too long, and he just he's not the same foul-mouthed jokester as he is in the comic book. Well, but he's still as violent, but
it's TV.
Yeah, it's TV.
I don't know. I don't read Walking Dead.
It's a great villain. He's a great villain.
Okay,
awesome villain.
But anyway, one of the whole multiverse thing, it's great. Here's actually a kind of a controversial thing. I have played Injustice 2 online, but I did not spend a lot of time on there at all, and it's because I felt like I didn't really need to. Injustice 2 is so packed with single player content.
Yep.
There's the trials you could also do. We didn't even talk about that. For each character you can do. They're constantly updating the multiverse, so there's always different things you can do. And then that's also the better way in case you don't like the loot box stuff. There's certain multiverses that you can do, so you can get specific gear for a specific character.
Yeah, for specific. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we say that's like a casual thing. Let me tell you something. The multiverse actually reminds me of Treasure Battle in Tekken 7, except that it's without all the pomp and circumstance. In Tekken 7's Treasure Battle, you're just constantly going up against different fighters, and it's just constantly going. And then after every fight, you earn gold and you earn chests that give you items to customize your character. That's basically what it is in Injustice 2, except that there's no, there's this story thing happening in Earth 2278 and all this stuff. And it's just quicker in Tekken 7. But like it still has modifiers. You still have some bullshit where it's like, everyone's gonna move like twice as fast now for some reason. Or you have half your life now. Or you're giant now. Or you can't block because stop fucking doing that, fighting games.
Like I said, it reminds me of it just having something that's a bit more casual. It's just
fun.
You want to go in there, you want to have fun, have at it.
And if you want to be hardcore about it, there's some multiverses that don't have modifiers at all. It's just hard.
Right.
Yeah.
Fine, go for it. And then, like I said, I didn't spend that much time with online. But then they have lobbies, they have ranked matches, they have player matches, they have
guilds.
Mm-hmm.
They have guilds, and actually the guilds help you get extra gold because they have a system in there that'll be like, well, if your guild wins at the end of the week or whatever,
then you get guild boxes. Yeah, they got different
boxes.
Guild boxes and stuff. Yeah, it's cute.
Meanwhile, I just got Dead or Alive 6, and this fucking thing doesn't even have lobbies. It says literally just ranked match right now. That's it in online. You go to online, and then it has a menu, and the only thing in that menu is ranked match. There's no lobbies, which, by the way, was in the demo.
They're still working on it. They spent a little too much time on the boot physics last time. So now that they, have gotten that out of their system, now they're starting to work on the lobbies and stuff. They got to work on
it. A serious fighting game this time, and not bring in the fun.
Yeah, but actually, you know what? Here's the sad thing about it. Having only one mode in online is about as hardcore fighting game as you can get, because that's the problem with hardcore fighting games. They don't have a lot of modes. They just kind of like do the bare minimum, and nobody in the FGC cares because all they want is ranked.
Yeah, pretty much.
All they want is ranked. There's no lobbies. There's no player matches. There's no tournaments, which doesn't make any sense to me.
Kind of weird.
There was something that died a long time ago, but I still wish it would come back. The coin out mode from Street Fighter 4, where it was supposed to be like the arcades.
Yeah.
Basically losers. And
I'm next. Yeah. You could say, this guy's won like 10 fights in a row. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get on this one.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that was really smart. That was a cool feature. I like.
So Injustice 2 is so feature packed, and some of the stuff is kind of seen as casual, and I do not agree with that at all. It's a fantastic fighting game. It's the only thing I feel holds it back is that it's just some of the mechanics were not properly balanced. And I know I said that we want over fun and all that stuff, and that's very much true, but a lot of the problems were holdbacks from the first game.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not unreasonable to think that you would have fixed them by this point.
I think there's a couple of other thoughts that I have on it that I just want to bring up, but I think we need to take a break.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, we'll take a break, and then we're probably just going to be wrapping up, I think. Final thoughts and stuff like that, because I don't know if there's anything else we need to talk about.
There's a couple that I have.
Okay. All right, that's fine. Then we'll be back for the third final segment. We'll see how long it is, whatever. Just be back in a few minutes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're back with the final part of the podcast. We're still talking about Injustice 2. We were sort of wrapping up, but we have a few more things that we want to say. There is actually one thing I wanted to mention too, that I now think about it. But Shawn, you said you wanted something to say, so go ahead. You go first.
Yeah, there was one mechanic that I don't think we brought up at all. That is something I hope they take out, and that's the clash. The clash.
They won't. I don't like it either, but they won't.
Yeah,
that was the one thing about it. Like, they have like a couple of other things, like the environmental stuff. That's something that's in Mortal Kombat as well. And that's something I actually kind of like.
I really enjoy the environmental stuff. It's kind of, FGC people will be like, oh, well, now you have to incorporate the stages and everything. So now I just want a stage that does nothing like that. But I like it. It makes sense. Also,
and you can turn that stuff off. Like, you can always turn stuff off. But the one thing that really bugs me is that clash system. I think that it's not a good mechanic, and I don't like it. And if you played through the story mode of Injustice 1, they had those little mini games that you had, and I don't think they had them in Injustice 2.
Yeah, they took them out.
Yeah, that's something I wanted to bring up, but with the clash system, I just don't like it. I think it breaks up that flow of gameplay, and it's something that bothers me, and I just had to bring that up before we wrap everything up.
Oh, I don't like it either, but it's actually proven to be popular. That's why Soul Calibur 6 incorporated it into there.
Go figure.
The casual market likes it. They like being able to just kind of like, it's a get off me mechanic. Even if they lose the clash, it's like, well, okay, I can resituate now. I can get out of this combo or so whatever.
I don't mind it either way. I've gone through plenty of matches where I've never had a clash before, so it doesn't necessarily get under my skin or not get under my skin. Even though I kind of do agree, like, when it does happen, it does feel jarring. It's just like, oh, all of a sudden it's like, I'm like, what the fuck? It's like.
And then you have to spend meter to get out of it, or you just give it to someone like, I was using that for something.
Yeah, it's like I was getting ready to do such and such, and crap, stupid clash.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a way you can be like, I'm not going to use any meter, but it also means like, okay, well then they're going to get their whatever percentage that they decide they want.
I think the times when it bothers me the most is during the story mode. Because it's like every single time when I think I'm getting ready to use something, it's like the computer knows when to activate the clash, and you're like, crap! I was getting ready to bust your ass, computer.
It's one of those dumb mechanics, but
yeah, it's for the casual audience. I know they're not going to get rid of it. I wonder if maybe they can tweak it so that it's not as annoying.
Maybe there's a way you could just turn that feature off, or at the very least have an option where you can spend 0 meter, because for clashes in Injustice 2, you have to at least spend a little bit of meter to just get rid of it. But there's not a way. But if you just be like, press left or something, or because it's a 5 button, press the meter burn to spend no meter.
I think that's what it is. I think that's how it does and how it's done in Injustice 2. I think you press the meter burn and you spend nothing.
We'll try that out, I guess.
Yeah.
But my final thoughts on Injustice 2, I like it. A lot of stuff that it does, I enjoy. I feel like Mortal Kombat 10 gave a lot in terms of what I like. I liked it a little bit better, just in terms of how they did the different modes, different features, how they did the crypt in terms of getting the type of loot that they're doing. I don't like the easy fatalities, but that's fucking wonderful for you.
That's another casual thing.
Yeah. I mean,
I need it because I am not about to learn everybody's multiple fatalities in that game. I'm sorry. I love Mortal Kombat. I play it from time to time, but I'm not about to learn everybody. I gotta give me easy fatalities. I'm like, oh, come on, man.
You know what? I liked Injustice 2. I still go back and play it every once in a while, especially when a new DC movie is coming out, because they'll be like, oh, well, we're gonna have this special multiverse that ties into the movie or something like that. And
Aquaman.
yeah, it's something that's fun. It's something that's fun, and that's what a game should be. Just like Esteban said.
Yeah. I think a lot of people forget about that. We're talking about games, people.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Games should always be fun, if not enjoyable.
and just to kind of, I was doing some research earlier on it. Apparently, the newest run of the Injustice comics has him. It's Injustice versus Masters of the Universe. So Batman teams up with He-Man.
No.
Superman.
Oh my god.
My God.
One for the win.
You know what? Injustice 2 has the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Sure. Sure. Which is, by the way, the last thing that I wanted to bring up. The DLC for this game.
It's good, I think.
The DLC came out really quick. They had it in, I think, 3 packs.
Yeah, 3 packs of 3 fighters apiece. And then
I can't even remember who all the DLC characters were.
Red Hood, Starfire, Sub-Zero,
Raiden,
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Hellboy,
Enchantress,
Enchantress, and the last 2 I can't remember.
Black Manta,
Black Manta, that's right.
and then there's one more.
Yeah,
One that I really don't care about.
that's why we can't remember it. I feel like it's like a shooter character.
It probably is.
Yeah.
I'll look it up real quick.
Meh.
Well, those characters came out awfully quick. I remember that. Like in the run of Injustice 2 was over quicker than the first game actually. In the first game, they only had I think 6 characters, but they were coming out like every few months. So this one they came out in packs of 3, and then like each of those packs there was only like a month and a half difference between each one. Like it was very quick. Like it was Injustice 2 came out in May, and then the DLC was done by like October.
Oh, that's who it was. It was Beast Boy
No, it wasn't.
and Adam. Yeah, Beast Boy's
It
one
was
in
the
Fighter
Adam.
Pack 2, and Adam was the other. Was the
Oh,
one in
Adam,
Fighter
the
Pack
little
3.
dude. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that. Now you
Yeah, the
don't.
first pack had Red Hood, Starfire, and Sub-Zero. The second pack had Black Manta, the Atom, and Raiden, and then the third pack had Hellboy, Enchantress, and the.
And that second pack did not leave an impression on me.
At all.
It was just Raiden. I just remember the Mortal Kombat character. It was interesting seeing the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in there. Everyone thought it was going to be Spawn. I remember that when people were speculating.
Yeah, which I mean, they have Hellboy, and is no, it's not. It's not Spawn's image. Hellboy's Black Horse.
Yeah. But Spawn has been rumored to be working, like Todd McFarlane has been rumored to be working with NetherRealm for a while now, like
Yeah.
ever since Mortal Kombat 9.
Well, there might be something coming out of that because there is a Spawn movie coming out.
Mhm.
So they might be doing something to tie into the movie as
Yeah.
well. So that might be something that's happening. Hesitant, but other than that, I don't expect any type of image character to be in there. Give me fucking Savage Dragon over. I mean, Negan is image, and he got an appearance before anybody else.
That's why I think well, everyone was confused by Negan, even at Evo when they showed him off at Tekken 7. Everyone's like,
It was like, what?
why? Like that was the first word everyone said. It was like, why? But then he came out and everyone was like, oh, he's actually kind of fun, and he plays like apparently like Miguel, which is my character, so maybe I need to try him out.
Hey, let's go for it.
Yeah. But getting back to Injustice 2, the DLC came out really quickly. But it was also kind of good, and then they also gave you the skins. They had the Jon Stewart version of Green Lantern.
Yep.
We already mentioned Power Girl.
Which I purchased. I purchased both of those outright. I didn't get the DLC
Yeah, and then
because it
Was
wasn't
there-
that cheap. It wasn't that expensive. It was kind of cheap to get them. So
Yeah.
I can't remember.
yeah,
Then you had Reverse Flash and
Reverse
Jay-
Flash.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you also had the Jay Garrick skin for Flash as well.
Okay.
There's a couple more like specialty skins that they had out there. Oh, Black Lightning. They had the
Mhm.
Black Lightning skin for Raiden.
Yep.
Yes, that's right.
That's right.
Can't remember the other one.
Do you remember how much these were by themselves? Because I know they were part of the fighter packs.
Yeah, because I have the fighter packs. I don't.
It might have been like it might have been like $1 or $2, something like that. I don't remember it being much
Yeah,
because it
I
was
know
enough for
that-
me to just say, you know what, I want that one, and I just went out and bought it. It wasn't that much.
Yeah,
Because if it was like $5, there was no way I was. gonna-
that's the point I'm actually gonna make. Having to put up with Street Fighter V's bullshit, where they charge you $3 for a palette swap, not a skin, a palette swap.
yeah,
Like
that's
if you
rough.
want reuse gi in red instead of fucking white, yeah, $3 for that shit.
Yeah, that's horrible.
This is quite nice.
Yeah,
And mind you, like these aren't just regular palette swaps. Like the Raiden versus Black Lightning thing.
No, that's a straight up skin.
yep.
That's not just a skin. Like they give you more than like the character interactions are a lot different. The
Oh,
Yes, that's
super
true.
moves are different.
That's true.
So they do a lot more work into that type of character. Even with Supergirl and Power Girl, I believe it's a different voice actress that does the voice work for it because they
I did not
sound
know
different.
that. Okay, wow.
Or at the very least, they sound different to me because
Yeah.
I think Power Girl has a deeper voice
Mhm.
than regular Supergirl.
Maybe.
Maybe I don't know. I don't have the Power Girl skin, but
I don't remember. I didn't pay too much attention to Supergirl until after I got my Power Girl skin.
if that's true, that's really impressive. That's the kind of work that I appreciate from NetherRealm. I wish other companies were doing.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Last one, the one that we can think of that's for Captain Cold, Mr. Freeze.
Oh yeah. Mhm.
There's an obvious one. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So like, I really liked also the way that they handled the DLC, even though it was very quick. That's the only thing that kind of like surprised me, because like, okay, you can calm down, you can space them out a little bit, but other than that, what you got for those fighter packs were extremely good, and then there was so much of it, so that even though like if you wanted to get everything, that's like $40, it's kind of worth it. It kind of isn't now, because now you have the ultimate version of the game. You can just buy everything like even cheaper than that.
Yeah.
But
I bought the Ultimate Edition for $100 as opposed to the $60. I got different skins for everything. I got like they have the regular just skins. You have four skins for every single character.
Mhm.
That comes with the pack. You get 9 different characters. Having all that being said, I am super, super happy with my investment in that.
yeah, and that's good. And then even that's good even for the time. Street Fighter V doesn't have something like that, and their fighter pack is only for the characters. It doesn't include the skins. Even now, you can buy the Legendary Edition. That's what it's called now, which is just the Game of the Year edition with all the DLC and everything already out, and you get all the stuff that's there as well. And now that's super cheap. It's a great fighting game. It's great value. It only falters in ways that only a fighting game fanatic like me would notice. And then even with that being said,
There's so much content that you have to overlook it.
it's just fun.
Yeah.
It's just fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
It's
fun.
fun.
I mean, even with me liking Tekken 7 more, I still say I have more to do in Injustice 2 than in Tekken 7.
Yeah. I'm super excited for Mortal Kombat when it comes out.
Oh my God, you have no idea. But I think that's going to wrap up our discussion for Injustice 2.
Yeah.
I will still be playing the game even after it's lost its support. I don't care. It's fun. I just wish it would give me more skins for Scarecrow. Because I didn't mention this before because I said like I had 7 of Supergirl or whatever the hell it was. I only have 2 for Scarecrow, despite the fact that I'm level 20 with him. Freaking loot boxes.
Yeah, man.
But let's wrap things up. Let's go around and talk about what each of us are going to be doing with our own separate channels that we do, and streams and YouTube stuff, and maybe even some writing, whatever it may be. Let's go around in a let me see. I guess in a clockwork manner. BJ, why don't you go first?
As it stands, I do not know. I'm kind of on pause on my Anthem playing. I've already played through the main story.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't done all of the new stronghold, not new, but all of the strongholds. There's like 3 that are available at the point that I'm at now, and I've only done 1 of the 3. So there's still some story aspects that trail off after the in-game portion. So I haven't gone through all those little contracts and missions and stuff. But I've been having fun with it and everything, but because of all the talk of it not bricking, but making it so they have to rescan their hard drive and all other kind of stuff.
Some people it's been bricky, but for the most part, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen different reports. Some said that, it doesn't brick it, it just makes it so you have to do X in order to restart it and all this other kind of stuff. But, what people have found out is what people have found. I'm sure it bricked somebody's. So because of that, I'm kind of, like on pause until I hear otherwise before I start it back up. So I might jump on, what is the other one? The Legends. What you call it? Legends?
Apex Legends?
Apex Legends, that thing. I might jump back on that. I had been playing that a little bit before. I am essentially waiting for Division 2. That's kind of where I'm at right now. I had a good time with the beta. I've got some gameplay up there. I only played it like maybe 1 day because I played a couple of days on the closed beta. So yeah, I'm kind of on hiatus, I guess you'd say, for like another week or so. I might do a few streams. I haven't done a whole bunch in the last week or 2. So, but that's where I'm at. Bunny 3000 everywhere. You know what I be, ladies and gentlemen. You know where I'm at.
All right, Shawn, how about you? Any projects come down the pipeline?
I do. I have a couple of projects that I'm working on, kind of like getting all that taken care of. I'm just working with my artist I live with. She's working on a few things, and then I'm just going to be getting the art from that. And then once I get that art, then I'll finish everything up, hopefully by the 18th of March, or by the end of March. I'm going to say the end of March because, you know what, give me enough time to fail on my promises. And then I've got some more gameplay videos up. I've been posting them more on Thursdays rather than Wednesdays, but on Thursdays and Wednesdays is going to be the Throwback Arcade. I have a couple that are coming up. My Monday videos are mostly stopping because I'm trying to think of better content to put up there. Better content that's for me to go in there. But if you ever want to know what I'm up to, what's going on, it's Little Big Cam Twitter, Little Big Cam Twitch, which I might bring back up this summer. Who knows? We'll see. Facebook, Shawn Studios, YouTube, Shawn Studios, anyplace else, and whatever I'm on Instagram as, I forget. I don't use Instagram, people. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I noticed that actually when I tagged you. I'm like, oh, you have like 4 posts.
Yeah, I think the last post I had was a couple of years ago.
Better than me.
It's Little Big Cam, but Little is Lil, like the abbreviation for Little, and then Ham is actually spelled correctly.
Yo, Ham is one M. It's LILBIGHAM.
Yeah.
It's because I couldn't fit all of it in there for some reason. I was just like, okay, fine, whatever.
Yeah, some places go like that. All right, cool. As for me, I mentioned earlier that I might be getting my computer fixed, so I might be able to start making videos again real soon, and that'll be cool, and I won't have to be doing ghetto streams, but in the meantime, that's what I'm still doing. Ghetto
Ghetto
streams.
for the win.
That's what you should call it. Ghetto streams.
The only reason I won't is because I've actually been looking at the quality. It's not that much worse than what I was doing, which means, wow, my computer really was broken. So, in terms of my streams, which is at twitch.tv/HeyColorwin, I actually just finished Onimusha Warlords. That playthrough is now done. I actually finished it earlier today. Yay, it is over. It is a cool game. I fight a huge white dragon demon thing at the end, and then I turn into like a white-haired ogre. It's a weird ending.
Go figure. I never understood the story of that game aside from fighting demons as a samurai.
Yeah, it's basically you're fighting demons and then like a whole bunch of other crap that's supposed to make sense, but it doesn't.
Right? Yeah. Way to go, Capcom.
But it's fun. It's a stupid kind of like nothing game. That's fun.
Yeah.
To replace it, I'm going to be playing Far Cry 5 because I wanted to play New Dawn, but I've never played Far Cry 5, so I'll do that first.
Because technically it's supposed to be a weird sequel, right?
It's a sequel, yeah.
It's like the Final Fantasy X-2.
Or spin-off, I guess is the right term, right?
It's technically a sequel. It's the same characters and everything.
Well, yeah, sequel. Yeah, technically a sequel, whereas most of the other sequels to Far Cry weren't sequels. If that makes any sense.
Final Fantasy thing, where 1, 2, 3, 4 have nothing to do with each other.
Yeah.
Although oddly enough, ever since 3, they've always done like a weird one in between the number ones, but those aren't connected either. This is the first time they've actually done a full-on sequel.
Right. Yeah. It's confusing.
3, they had
Blood Dragon,
which is
like
still
all
the best Far Cry game.
Probably. Actually, I haven't played it.
Like you for that.
Okay. Well, we still have a cage match anyway, so I'm ready.
Well, Far Cry 3 is the one that got remastered and put on the PlayStation 4, and not Blood Dragon. So there you go.
Yeah, I got to get that one again. I miss Far Cry 3. I love that one to pieces.
And then there was Primal, and that was completely like in a whole other place. Even though, from what I understand, it's supposed to be the same map.
Whatever.
Whatever. And then this one is, and then New Dawn is the sequel. Although now that I think about it, what the hell was Far Cry Instinct's Predator back in the day? Were those sequels to the first one? Do you remember that shit?
I remember the names, but I never played them. Yeah. Honestly, the very first Far Cry I played was 3 because I saw the villain in 3 and I was like, oh, that looks fun.
Yeah.
And that was the only reason why I played it. And then I fell in love with the whole Far Cry thing. And then to this day, I think 3 and Primal are the only ones I have. But no, I'm interested to see what you think of that one because I heard people have mixed feelings about the story. And
here's a funny thing. I've actually played every single Far Cry game except for Vengeance, which was on the Wii. I've actually played every single one. 1, Predator, 2, 3. Actually, I haven't played Blood Dragon. And Primal, I haven't played that one either. So I played most of them. 4, and now I'm playing 5, and I'm going to work my way to 4 Dawn. I'll be perfectly honest with you, though. 5, I played an hour of it because I tried to stream before, and then the thing cut off for me after I played an hour, and it pissed me off, and I raged. But I played an hour of 5, and so far, this is the one I've been enjoying the most so far. So, but
story-wise, also,
well, that's because you haven't played Blood Dragon yet.
You could be right.
Don't agree with him.
Kill laser dinosaurs. I don't give a fuck what you think.
I know that is, dude. I have that also. It's awesome. It's absolutely freaking hilarious.
It's hard to argue with laser dinosaurs.
I know, freaking lasers on their freaking heads.
Yes, right.
Laser beams.
Freaking laser beams attached to their heads.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's it's classic.
But yeah, so that's gonna be the game replacing that. And I'll still be playing Darksiders as my backlog purge game, which is the second game I'm streaming. That is twitch.tv/HeyColorwin. In the meantime, my blog also has some posts. My gaming landscape every Tuesday. That'll go up. It came up later today. Also, in case you haven't noticed, I've been doing excerpts from the thing and posting them individually. That seems to be kind of working. People seem to like that. For those who don't want to read the whole thing,
they're good.
That's at heycolorwin@wordpress.com. Also, this past Thursday, I posted something that is not new for me, but I just haven't done in a while, and that is a music review. I reviewed Weezer's Teal album because why would you do that?
What, listen to Weezer or do the review of Weezer? Which one?
In case you are not aware of, Weezer stealth released an album last month called the Teal album, and it's nothing but a bunch of covers.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah. So I reviewed that. Go check that out. And I should also point out that Weezer just released another album. This is actually the one that we were anticipating. And that's the Black Album.
So they did a El Facador.
Yeah, they released an album out of nowhere a month before the album they were supposed to release was supposed to come out, and then they will also release that album. And I'll be doing a review for that one too. I'm a Weezer fan, so that's why I'm doing that.
Okay, that makes sense.
And also because Weezer's career has been like goddamn. But I'll be doing that. I'm still working on my Lion King theory article. That should be done. If not this week, then definitely next week. I've been poking at that whenever I get the time to. And other than that, just follow me on socials everywhere at Hey Colorwin, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Yeah, that's everything. As for us here at Shaded Pixels, we are Shaded Pixels on Twitter, on Facebook,
Maybe.
and
Shaded Pixels podcast on Facebook.
okay, it's Shaded Pixels podcast on Facebook and Instagram as well. If you want to get this podcast on YouTube, it is bit.ly/shadedpixels. And the podcast goes up on Thursday mornings at 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. If you want to get the audio version, you can get it on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, and podcast.com on Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. And that is everything, I believe, right?
And you
Safe.
can catch us live. You can catch us here.
Oh yeah, and we're always here. We're always here at twitch.tv/shadedpixels, where we record the podcast live, and you can talk to us in the chat if you so
Something.
desire.
That's right, something.
Yeah. So with that, I think we're gonna close things off. That has been episode 32. Indeed, we have deconstructed Injustice 2. Godspeed Injustice 2. This is the Shaded Pixel podcast for Shawn Richards, aka Little Big Ham, for BJ Brown, aka Bunny 3000. I'm Esteban Cuevas, aka Hey Colorwin. Peace and love, gamers and players. We're out.